There are healers on this planet with the power to soften the suffering of mankind, yet they have remained in the recesses of the world, abused, discarded, and labeled as trash. This is The Touch of a Mustang. I am your host, Shalise Clough, and I'm here to tell the story of wild horses, Mustangs, and the humans who are discovering and sharing their gifts while working to protect their well-being and preserve their spirit, so this divine power won't be lost. Join us on this quest with the wild Mustang. Chris Waldhaus grew up off the grid in the Colorado mountains. His journey with horses began as a young boy. He eventually began traveling the country with horses and participating in endurance trail riding. In 2020, Chris opened a sanctuary for horses and began welcoming rescues by September of 2021. He now spends his time providing refuge for horses, many of whom are Mustangs, that have nowhere else to go. He trains these horses and uses them for his nonprofit organization, Cascade Trails. Cascade Trails is located near Joshua Tree National Park and offers equine therapy, interactive experiences with horses, trail riding, and equicide, or exercise with horses. Chris, thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to talk to you about the work that you're doing. I live in the mountains, but I see pictures of your place, which is very much in the desert. It looks incredible. So I'm excited to hear about everything that you do.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Let's talk about how you became involved with horses, kind of your history. You said you grew up with them, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Colorado, and as a kid, I actually got to see some wild horses, and where we were growing up, there was still, the HMA hadn't pushed them away from where we were, and so we got to see that. And I've always been intrigued with horses. I think I have, pictures as a kid with the little plastic horses, and just always had this love for horses and wanted to be around them. And my family had horses. My mom and dad had horses. So it was just kind of something that it was definitely a companion for us. It had changed from a work animal to a companion for us.
And so you had some personal or family horses as you grew up?
Absolutely. Yeah, we had a few horses, actually. We had 3 horses, and I have siblings. Each of us had a horse, but my siblings to this day don't ride. They're not really that interested in horses. And so, I had a lot of horses as a kid because I was basically, willing to take care of them and wanting to be around them. And so I learned a lot on the ground. Some of the horses that we had at first were not rideable. So it took, a while to get them trained and to gain their trust. And I think that was probably some of the best lessons for me on the ground, learning how to communicate with these horses from before I could ever even ride them.
Yeah. So how old were you during that time, and what kinds of things did it teach you, just working with the horses?
Gosh, I think that I was probably 7 when I had the ability to get on my own horse and could go out by myself. And
yeah, that's young. I have an 8-year-old. I don't think I'd let him go out on his own on a horse.
It's funny. We actually, our age limit is 8 years old here. Yeah. And you get some big 7-year-olds who can actually fit in the stirrups and can hold the reins, and we'll make exceptions sometimes. But you're right. I think it was a little wild, and so. Yeah. But we were in the middle. I mean, you're out there. It's the middle of the wilderness, so you got to be a little wild.
Yeah. Yeah, so 7-year-old, you started riding horses, taking off with them on your own?
Yeah, I was on my own. I had a really good dog, had a really good horse, and she was just she was so sweet. If I fell off, she would stop and wait for me. If we got into a situation where I had to get off, she would just follow me. So I learned that there was a very important connection from the beginning, and that was like there have been a few times in my life where I've seen, like, you have a different connection with horses. It's not just maybe I'll share a story or something.
Definitely share them.
But I want to kind of I'm all over the place. What your
That's
question
okay. Was we'll get to it all.
I can talk all over the place. All right, so your question.
I know it's hard with horses. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, I was young. My mom was duct taping me to the saddle so I could follow her on trail.
Oh, wow.
Trail riding was big for us. We really enjoyed, I think, just the leisure of trail riding, and seeing sights from horseback is just something that, you have to experience. But
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great question.
Yeah, I mean, I love it too, just being out there on the horse. What was that like for you as a 7-year-old being out there alone with your horse and your dog just out in
You know,
nature?
you with a horse, you feel empowered already, right? So we could pretty much outrun anything that was going to be something that we didn't want to face. But
Mm-hmm.
also, you're moving at such a slow pace that you are up looking at everything. So even as a 7-year-old, I had a good if a good idea. If I could see it, I could see where I was going. You know,
Yeah.
my horse wasn't too she wasn't too spooky, and so she wouldn't really buck at anything. Sometimes, where we were at out there, there are a lot of rabbits. So
Yeah.
sometimes the rabbit would come out from under a rock next to the trail and get her to do a front step, side step, right? But nothing serious. I don't think it was till I was older that I realized horses could be super shifty. I
Yeah.
started riding,
That they didn't all take good care of you like that, huh?
yeah, yeah. I started riding some other horses, and it was they were Arabs.
Oh,
I had an Arab duck out from under me and leave me standing where I was sitting.
yeah.
And I thought,
I
wow,
grew
that's
up with part Arab, so I'm
yeah,
familiar with their spooks.
yeah. They get out from under you. They'll go
Yeah.
wherever they want to go. Yeah. So I just over the years I've had so many different experiences with different horses. From we had buckskin Appaloosas, and going from that to Arabs, going from that to quarter horses, and then from that to walkers or percherons or drafts and these other. It wasn't until later in my life that I get to warm bloods and Andalusians and things like that, right? So just seeing all the different horses, I think, also gave me a different education on all these other types, right? And like you
Yeah.
said, not every horse is going to stop and wait for you if you fall off.
Right.
So yeah, it was a great learning experience just being so involved with the horse. I think over that amount of time, it's the horse is just going to end up showing you things. You're just going to be around them so often that you see a behavior that maybe you've seen it 100,000 times already, but that 100,001 time it clicks, and you're like, every time I see that, this happens.
Yeah.
I know that already. So yeah, it's just I think learning the horse from the ground is different. When I decided I was going to work with horses when I was pretty young, so I started showing up at barns at 14, and they weren't looking at me like, oh, here's a little kid. They were
Yeah.
like, here's a rake, here's a wheelbarrow, get to work.
Yeah.
And I was making $10 an hour as a 14-year-old
Dang,
kid.
that's pretty good back then too. I mean, that was a
So
bit ago.
it was like, make $10 an hour hanging out with horses or go to school. And
Yeah.
I chose to hang out with horses. And that took me all over the place. It took me to different ranches and, different styles of horse training. And I really enjoyed it. And I don't think that I would change anything when it comes to my learning when it came to horses and how I did. Had I gone to the barn and they were like, here's the stairs, climb up, sit on the horse, it wouldn't have taught me how to communicate with these horses the way that I can now. So I think that's what really gave me
Yeah.
an edge.
I agree with that 100%. And you also talked about just how working with horses on the ground does a lot. And I think that's something I've learned too. Like, there's so much more to horses than just riding them.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
riding them's fantastic, but there's a lot of other
There's
things
a
that
lot
you
of
can
steps to get
discover.
up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yep, if you're starting from the beginning, absolutely.
I mean, when you're looking at these horses, they're all over the world, right? They're all over. You got Icelandic ponies, you got the Mongolian ponies, you've got the
Yeah.
Mustangs in America, you've got the Brumbies in Australia. They're all over, and people are all over. So we've been dealing with this animal for so long. At some point in time, there was a crossing of paths, right? And at that
Yeah.
crossing of paths, it was the most basic communication that allowed them to understand each other. And I think that's magical about the horse.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are kind of living an untraditional life. It doesn't sound like you probably went to traditional school. You got your education with horses around
In
all
the
over the
barn,
place.
in the
Yeah, what
barn.
kinds of places did you go to after that?
You know, I think the most important places that I went to two different trail riding facilities. and both of them used the horses that weren't making the cut for the owner's chosen discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of horses came through that didn't make the cut, and they went right onto the trail.
Yeah.
And so there was a system. Both of these places had an amazing system and how they used their horses, and they knew what horses were going to be good for what. So it put, like I said, as a youngster, you're 14, 15, 16 years old, and you've got other kids who are that age from England or Africa or Mexico, all there at the same place, learning how to ride, learning how to trim, learning how to train horses. It's a school kind of.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And it can be competitive. You want to be a good rider, you want to be a good trainer, you want to be a good trimmer. So it makes you step it up a level because there are kids from everywhere that are learning, and you're all fighting for a position, head wrangler or lead trail, you know what I mean? Whatever. Those two places, because they had such good systems, I learned the most.
Yeah.
I think the first place taught me, because coming out of the mountains, they said I trained the savage way. So the savage way is to jump on the horse's back and teach him everything from the back.
Yeah.
The civilized way is to teach him everything from the ground so that you can record the first mount, and that horse can show that it's accepting the rider, it's doing everything the rider wants, and it's the very first time a person's ever got on it.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing those two extremes just kind of helped me hone a happy medium for myself and how I want a horse to be trained, and what I think should happen during certain ages and different phases. But happy horses, these places that I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
they had happy horses.
Yeah.
And
which is saying a lot. A lot of these horses are just can be just on autopilot.
Yeah.
Going along with the agenda, doing what they got to do.
Yeah. Or dangerous. Or not on
sure.
autopilot, and defensive and dangerous, ready to bite or kick. And so those things, so much has changed since the transition from work to companion for the horse, and the establishments that, are there now.
Yeah. So you saw these wild horses when you were just young. Did you know much about them?
No, not really at all. I just knew they were wild. And, the thing is, with so many like cattle drives and cowboys and just the scene back then, I mean, once you get a chance to look at Stirrups Ranch, it's 42,000 acres surrounded by Bureau of Land Management. So it seems limitless.
Yeah.
And they had hundreds of cattle that would come and graze, and they would push them. So you would see these big cattle drives and the wild horses, and it all just fit. It looked like a Western.
Yeah.
I grew up watching John Wayne Westerns, and, where we were at, it was so remote. Our neighbor was like 10 miles away, and the guy was a genius. He had built a windmill generator off the river that ran by their house and had electricity. And so he had the TV and like in the middle of nowhere, which was, it was pretty impressive considering this was in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, gosh, I mean, they were there, and it almost seemed like they fit, like they really just belonged there. And they did.
It sounds ideal.
And they did.
Yeah, it sounds incredible.
But the HMAs started designating certain areas and removing them, and they just kind of slowly disappeared.
Yeah.
So
I feel like, in your experience, has that made a difference for the land? Did it seem like that there were problems that it necessitated that?
Gosh, and the reality of that question, I think there were so many other factors that played a role. I mean, they're reintroducing wolves to Colorado now. They just did that.
Right.
But they had eradicated the wolf. Mm-hmm. They had almost eradicated the mountain lion. You have them in areas like where you're at, and very other few areas they're collected.
Yeah.
And they track some of them now too, right? Because they've hunted most of them off. So the natural predator for the wild horse was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So the population did see a boom.
Yeah.
And then, just to be straightforward, we don't eat horse here. We eat
Right.
beef here.
Yeah.
So we need the grazing area for beef.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's such a hard, like, it's such a harsh reality, because as much as I love the Mustang and know that they rightfully deserve land to graze here, I also understand that humans have to graze these cattle in order to feed the population. And so we have a very big respect for horses. We at least don't eat them here.
Yeah.
They do ship them elsewhere and eat them, but we're respecting them and not eating them here. So I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. It is a very complicated issue that so many variables are involved in.
Yeah.
And so how did you become more involved with Mustangs, with wild horses?
So, like I said, I grew up with them, and my horse travels took me elsewhere, and I got into endurance trail riding. And California has a huge race. It's called the Tevis Cup, and it's been happening since 1955. And I started working at an endurance barn, and this place was turning out amazing horses, amazing riders. Just had one girl go to the Mongolian Derby, compete and place in the top 5.
Yeah.
Like, just awesome. So we're on a trail ride one day, and this Englishman from England is on a Mustang, and he's trotting, making the other horses canter to keep up with his Mustang's trot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what kind of horse are you on?
Right.
And he tells me, and I start thinking about Mustangs again. Yeah. And this is probably 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And the Mustang is so impressive to me. I start thinking of them again. And then I start going down the rabbit hole of how they've been rounded up since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And they're still being rounded up. Mm-hmm. And the methods have only gotten worse. And so I was like, how can I help these horses? Yeah. I want to help horses. I want to help people. I know horses help people. How can I do this? How can I bring it all together? So that's how I started the Mustang Sanctuary, and essentially that's how I got back into Mustangs. An impressive Mustang named Choctaw trotted past everybody and caught my eye, and I was sold.
Brought it back where you were meant to be, huh?
Yep, I was sold.
How did you kind of come to recognize that horses can do a lot to help people?
Like I said, those 2 places that I was at, they were like schools. And a lot of us kids were like misfits. I mean, you're 15, 16 living at a barn. Yeah. You're kind of wild. So, it was just to be able to have us in line, under control, doing a job was pretty impressive. And so I saw that the structure and the consistency, I'll say that, the consistency, the clear communication that horses require, people can benefit from that as well. Yeah. They start to communicate. They start to become consistent. Those are traits that anybody wants if you're on, a path to success.
Yeah, I think that's an incredible point that I don't know that anyone's really brought up before, but our communication can be so convoluted, especially when we depend primarily on just speaking and talking. And, a lot of times people don't mean what they say and don't say what they mean. And so to realize just that there's other ways to communicate and how possible and also beneficial it is to have that clear communication. Yeah, that's a great lesson.
Yeah. I think that learning those lessons as a kid is extremely helpful, because in those businesses, you're dealing with adults a lot.
Yeah.
even as a child. And so, the other thing that I thought was always amazing about the horse is it's definitely an equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you think you know.
Right.
The kid that doesn't know anything barefoot could jump on the horse and ride it better.
Yeah.
And so the horse is an equalizer. And I really like that also.
Yeah, I love that too. I think they really help us hone in on some of the things that are really important in life. Like you say, they don't know how much money you make or what you do or pretty much anything except the feeling that they get when you go in with them. And that's pretty cool.
That's huge, the feeling.
Yeah.
Because we humans, we think we feel a lot, but really the horse feels everything.
Yeah.
And may feel things that we didn't even know we were feeling.
Right. And I think in our world, it's so easy to be desensitized. You grew up kind of differently. Yeah. Was that shocking kind of coming into society where it's very overstimulating? We have a lot coming at us all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Some places the lights don't shut off. The cars don't stop driving.
Yeah.
It's a busy world. And so I think that, we just get in a rush. And that horses remind you of that too, right? There was a time where we were just moving 3 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. And it's a busy world now. So to be able to, I think the other magical thing that horses do, to be able to bring you into the moment and make you present in the moment. It's very rare that you get that nowadays.
That's for sure. Just like you're talking about how you get on a horse, and I feel like for me, time almost changes. Like, I can go out in the mountains and I'm like, oh, dang it. Like it's been 4 hours. Like I have to get back. But yeah, just how, you lose all that stress and worry that just feels constant sometimes in the world that we live in.
Absolutely.
So tell us about the first Mustang that you got. The first one that brought you into this world.
Okay, I got two actually.
Okay.
Let's see. Taos and Allura. Taos and Allura both are Nez Perce blanket Appaloosas, and they come from New Mexico. And it's so crazy because, when Mustangs are rounded up, if they're foals, they're removed from their mother. Yeah. They're separated on the trailer. And don't get me wrong, they try to do their best to get them back into the same corrals. They do. But sometimes they don't make it. And foals are separated from the mothers. So these two foals were separated. And they were probably about 4 months. So I took them both. And the guy who was transporting had 2 surrogate mother horses that he was willing to give to the foals. So my first 2 Mustangs actually brought me 4 horses.
Wow. Yeah. You didn't start with one. You're going all in.
They brought 4.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I had a friend. I'd never been, in the rescue business. Yeah. And so I had no idea what was about to happen. But I had a friend start shooting me messages like, hey, get ready for people to be like, hey, can you take this horse? Can you take this horse? Yeah. And it happened. Immediately people were like, hey, do you want to take this horse? Do you want to take this horse? And I was like, we're a Mustang sanctuary. We're basically just taking Mustangs right now.
Yeah. And so at this point in time, you have some land. You're kind of established.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just, it kind of, it took off really fast. We opened in 2020, and we took the first 4 horses in September of 2021. And we're at 23 horses now. Wow. So, and that's still telling people we can't take them right now. Sorry. So it's been wild. It's been a wild ride, but so awesome. Just seeing the transition and the horses and how people, and even just the idea of putting it with the campground and allowing people just to be around them all the time. I think it helped. It helped so many ways, right? It helped with the horses being desensitized to people. and it helped the people just being comfortable with being around the horses. Because some people, unless you grow up with them, it's a really big animal.
Yeah,
And
a lot
it
of
can be
people are really nervous around them. And,
yeah, it's a little intimidating.
yeah.
And people they just, it doesn't put together the horse eats grass, it doesn't eat meat.
Yeah.
It's not going to bite you to try to eat you. Like people
Right.
just see a big mouth, big hooves, and they're like, whoa, that horse could eat me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it helps with that. It helps a lot. I mean, we'll have a group of kids here in probably 20, 30 minutes, and they've been coming consistently every week. And they're doing healing with horses. So
awesome.
They have some educational behavioral disorders, and they're coming and they're really getting better with the horses. And it's amazing.
What kind of changes have you seen in them?
Their communication. Most certainly their communication. And I've thought of it because I was just saying how if people don't grow up with horses, they can be intimidated by that.
Yeah.
So no matter how how tough you might be, this animal can humble you and intimidate you, right? So you see that with some of the individuals that may be more standoffish. They actually have to say, hey, can you help me? This horse is a little close.
Yeah. Do you think it also offers for the kids a chance for them to communicate? I feel like sometimes in some situations kids are really like, you're just doing this. You don't necessarily have a chance to communicate your needs.
I saw exactly what you're saying. I saw a couple weeks ago with a kid, and it was like, you see it 1,000 times, right? And then that 1,001 time you see it, you're like, that's what they mean. Yeah. So with the kid, I saw the kid communicating with the horse the way that he actually wanted the humans around him to communicate with him. And so he was opening up to the horse, talking to the horse, but I'm seeing the reflection of him saying, this is how I want to be approached. This is how I'll approach you. So it was just like, it was eye-opening because I had seen it a lot, but I never put it together like, oh, they're showing us how they want us to communicate with them.
Yeah, no, that is really incredible insight. And have you seen, is this a regular thing that they keep coming, or does it kind of cycle through groups?
They keep coming. I mean, at first it was like, it was once every other week, and now it's every week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they're loving it. Is this done through?
It's working. It's through.
Is it through a program or?
Yeah, it's through the Morongo School District.
Oh, cool. So the school district has set it up for these kids that maybe they're probably a little bit at a loss at.
Yes.
Sounds like.
Well, we're a nonprofit, so we're doing it pro bono. So it's I mean, it's working, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a benefit that horses bring to us that I feel like is really underrated. You know, we have a lot of different solutions thrown at us, but I feel like horses are right in front of us and they do something that it's hard for us to do as humans with other people.
I say horses for courses. I'm so into horses and education. I think that, it's to the point now where the only way you're going to get involved is if you go out or if we set up some type of curriculum where they're involving children in equine assisted learning.
Yeah.
Because it's huge. I mean, they're seeing the benefits of it with adaptive amputees, with children that have epilepsy or autism. There's so many levels that the horse is now connecting with people on that we just weren't aware of before. Yeah. And I think, there's beauty in the technology if you use it correctly. If we're learning that our heart rates and our serotonin levels and different things happen when we get around horses. Yeah. That's good. We're using the technology for good.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have other programs that you do equine therapy with?
Aside from like just people being able to book it with themselves, we have a couple therapists that privately come and utilize us. But we offer what we call here an interactive equine experience. And it's equine therapy.
Yeah. And so what does that look like? Tell us more about that.
It depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
It looks different for each person. So some people don't mind going in with the entire herd.
Mm-hmm.
Some people actually just want to be alone with one horse or
Yeah.
two horses. Some people, the entire herd is a little overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
So it really does depend on the individual.
Yeah. And what are some other things that you offer there?
Um, we do trail rides. We offer it, it's called Equisize, so it's
Mm-hmm.
exercise and equestrians, and that's mostly groundwork. We do lessons. We offer group lessons and individual lessons. Um, Group lessons are 3 people or less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and pretty much we don't do any boarding, but we rescue now. We've actually opened up to domestics. We have 2 off-the-track thoroughbreds.
Oh, yeah.
We have 2 huge Belgian draft horses.
Mm-hmm.
We just got them. They've been here about a week, and one is 18 hands,
Wow.
just unreal.
Yeah.
It almost feels like you're standing next to a dinosaur,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that big. I mean, I'm not a huge person, but I feel like I'm a pretty decent sized person, and the
Yeah.
horses tower over me, and not
Yeah.
just big, like wide, also. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty interesting to see.
And
Uh,
how are those horses coming to you?
so we've had 2 of the last groups come from someone who's rescued multiple horses from a kill pen
Mm-hmm.
and has just been calling shelters and asking how many can you take.
Mm-hmm.
We had a group of 15 and we took 5 of the 15.
Mm.
We had another group of 10 and we took 3 of the 10, and then we just took the 2 drafts.
Yeah. Wow. You're definitely growing quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, where we're at, uh, Joshua Tree National Park is a pretty huge national park in California.
Yeah.
And so we see a lot of people out here. And
Mm-hmm.
for them to be outside and want to do something interactive and active, this is a really good spot.
Yeah. That is an incredible opportunity. What kind of led you into using these horses? You're kind of rescuing horses and people right now. What led you to go that route versus, a business or some of the other different things that you had seen and done before?
Um, you know, I read a book called The New Earth by
Mm-hmm.
Eckhart Tolle,
Yeah.
and I want to leave the world a better place when I'm gone than what
Yeah.
it is right now. And I think that, like I said, if I can share horsemanship with people, then I'm helping with the gift
Yeah.
that I have. And I'll tell you a story. Remember I told you I have a lot of horse stories, but
Yeah.
when I,
Let's hear some.
so the one that really tipped me over the edge, I'm at a horse race. We're coming back from a horse race in Florida. We're holed over in Alabama. We've
Mm-hmm.
got 6 horses, stanchions set up, hot wire set up, but we're not the only trailer hauling back through here, right? So there's probably like 3 other rigs with their horses on the side, our horses. And when you're hauling like that, um, they're race horses, so they're on a different diet, right? You've got to feed them throughout the night, and you're feeding them grain and you're feeding them other things, not just hay, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're holding over in Alabama, and I'm feeding through the night. It gets to be about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. It's their last feed. I go out. Ringo is one of the horses with us. Ringo has his own pen. Even at home, Ringo has his own tree. He stays by himself all the time, right? So
Yeah.
Ringo has his own little pen. He's laying on the ground though. So I go into the little stall and I get down on my knees and I just hug him on his neck. And I go back inside the trailer and I lay down to go to bed and I can't sleep. Like I wake up 11 o'clock at night, can't sleep. I'm crying. I'm sad. I have no idea why.
Hmm.
So then try to go back to sleep. I end up falling asleep, just waking up throughout the night, just feeling this deep ache and sadness, crying, sobbing uncontrollably.
Wow.
And then the next morning, I'm not feeding, somebody else is feeding. two horses get into a fight, they kick each other. Those horses kick into the hot fence, start a stampede. All the horses are running around, stampeding around this area that we're all camped in.
Yeah.
I get up about the second lap around, and they run right out the gate. And they run out the gate and turn left and run down the road. And one horse in the front, he's one of the fastest horses I'd ever seen. Super good horse, slips on the pavement. Bam!
Oh, man.
Cracks its hip. Another horse keeps on running down the road. But Ringo, when he comes out of the gate, he turns right and runs into a car and dies.
Oh, my goodness.
So the night before, my spirit knew.
Yeah.
Something was off. That connection with the horse led me to believe that there was something more that I could share, right? There was a connection deeper there.
Yeah.
So I started spending time with horses. And that's when I was telling you, when you spend time with horses, they start showing you things. You're around them enough. You see that look enough times. You see that action enough times. Now you're able to read their body language. You're able to read their looks. You're able to read their ear twitches, their movements. And it's just like, I take it for granted. It's second nature now. Kind of like I took Colorado for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that definitely, it showed me, okay, you have a connection with horses that you should build on.
Yeah.
So that really inspired me to move forward with the horse thing. And I want to be inspired too. You know, that you asked why I chose this. Horses inspire me. They're one of the most inspirational creatures we have. They carry us so freely and could totally just toss us whenever they want.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another quick story. I have a horse, one of the Mustangs, and I took him out on trail probably, this was maybe his third time on trail, and I'm feeling myself, he's feeling himself. We've both had 3 successful trail rides, no issues, nothing. And the whole time he's basically saying, no, I don't want to go today. And I'm like, no, we're going. We're going. Yeah. And so when we get out of the gate, this is the first horse that threw me and just gave me the feeling like, don't forget that I can do this anytime. Yeah. I don't want to go. Yeah. We'll go, but remember, I'm the one who has the power. And I was just like, damn, horse, why'd you have to do me like that?
Yeah, you weren't listening.
No, I wasn't.
Tried to tell you other ways.
So that's the other thing, right? They make you listen. And not just with your ears, they make you feel it with your heart. They make you listen with your whole soul. So, yeah. I love them.
Have you noticed a difference in that type of things between Mustangs and domestic horses?
They do carry an air of wilderness to them. Like it's more like they're prepared for anything. I think some horses that are so used to like just around the arena, they're not prepared for anything. If something comes out of the left or the right, it's like, oh no. But the Mustang sees it and it's prepared for it. You know, where I'm at, there's also a base pretty close to us, and they do a lot of helicopter flying. And it's interesting to watch my herd's reaction to the helicopter. But as time goes by, it's less and less, right? Yeah. But you still see like the freshest ones, ears perk up, look around, they'll, you know what I mean? They recognize it.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. It is very interesting. How have some of these experiences that you have, how has that changed your interaction with horses? Like after you kind of sensed, the night before that terrible having that connection.
Yeah, I would have to say that the word that I'm getting is like the reverence and respect for this animal is just, it's totally different. I mean, I love animals. I do. There's not many that will willingly put you on their back and carry you wherever you ask them to carry you, though.
Yeah.
So the appreciation and admiration for the horse and to know that this animal is willing to work till I say quit, until I'm ready to
most
quit.
of them.
Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. And they're willing, and they're like, and you see it now when we take some out and then we don't take some out. The ones that don't get to go out are standing there hollering like, take us, take us. Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah, it's interesting to see. I think they're close to like dogs and cats for me, right? I treat them like people treat their pets like their kids. I treat them like my kids. Yeah.
Yeah. And so your nonprofit is made up all of either Mustangs or other rescue horses?
Yes, ma'am.
And then they are used to do trail riding with people who probably don't have a lot of horse experience?
Trail rides, interactive experiences, the one-on-one therapy. Yeah, we really use horses for courses over here.
Yeah. Tell us about that transition, like from when they're first rescued to when they're able to, whether it's helping people or, going out on the trail rides. Mm-hmm. What all does that entail? What's that like?
It depends. Each horse is different. I say all the time, every horse has their own horsenality. So you have to deal with each horse differently.
Which is important to remember. Yeah,
absolutely. And so one horse, they could be ready in 12 weeks. Another horse could not be ready in 2 years. I have a horse here that I think we're not ever going to ride. She doesn't want to rope around her. She'll do anything she can to not be caught. And so rather than make her put herself in danger, then we don't need to ride her. She's amazing for people to try and pet because she only will let certain people pet her, right? So it's an interesting horse that it doesn't have to be ridden. It can be the one, okay, if you can touch that horse, great. You're super calm. You have a very gentle hand. She doesn't just let everyone touch her. So I think that you need those kind of horses as well, right? But the horses that are wanting to please, and it's amazing how they're just like any other pet that wants to make you happy. And so the horses that are wanting to please, with the amount of people that they see on a daily basis and the amount of interaction that's there, if they're willing to interact, it gives them an opportunity to reach out to us, right? And so when you get a horse, let's say, for example, we just got 4 months ago, we got 5 Mustangs. They all came together. They were already a herd inside a herd. They went from the kill pen to quarantine, from quarantine to the trailer, from the trailer to us. And when they got to us, they were a herd inside of a herd. They did their own thing. They went around together. They all stuck together, right? I think it took probably a month before those horses incorporated into the other horses, right?
Yeah.
And now I say we've had them about 3 months. Of those 5 horses, only one of them has not let a person touch them yet. So the other 4 are letting people touch them, letting them be pet. We're putting brushes on them. We're slowly working to pick up their feet. And those are horses that came untouched. And it's only taken 4 months. Whereas that first horse I told you, she's part of that group of 4 that I got from the beginning.
Yeah. Oh.
And she still won't be caught.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to be touched by everyone, right? So it's definitely interesting to see these different personalities play out. But as long as they have a purpose, I feel like they're happy. And if they're happy and they're healthy, then they can help people. So that's really the goal.
It's very true. How do you know the history much about a lot of these horses that have found their way to you, like this herd you were just talking about, and some of the other things?
So the herd I was just talking about, they're one of the most recent groups that have come in, and none of these horses are over 3 years old.
Yeah,
I think one of them may be over a year old. It's not 2 yet, but when horses are rounded up, they all get the same birthday. Basically, I think two separate dates, right? So they may say that horse is 2, but it ain't really 2, right?
Right.
So we got these babies. We just got 5 babies. And it's so interesting how curious they are. And they've come from running in the wild to now they're in a corral, and they're still very curious. And it's just it's kind of cool to watch.
You're a sanctuary, so they wherever they went first probably didn't work out. How'd they come kind of be with you?
Yeah, you're right. So those 5 obviously came from the kill pen. We've had probably 4 owner surrenders, where an owner surrender will either be they can't feed the horse, they can't take care of the horse as far as the recommended training or exercise. They believe the horse is going to hurt them or someone else. We actually got a thoroughbred, an off-the-track thoroughbred, who someone pulled from a thoroughbred farm and brought to us. We have another, the 2 drafts were in an estate sale. They went unsold and went to a shelter until someone could get them, and the woman got them out of the shelter and brought them to us. We have another Mustang from a kill pen in Oklahoma. We have one from a solo Mustang from a kill pen in Texas. We had a Mustang that was actually from Wyoming who went to Arizona for the TIP program, and the TIP trainer got hurt, and so the horse went up for adoption, and we took that horse. That horse is actually pregnant as well.
Oh, wow.
So we have a pregnant Mustang right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting, and all of them have got their own like special story. I think one of the, even though she's not a Mustang, one of the best stories that we have is an off-the-track thoroughbred.
Yeah.
And off-the-track thoroughbred life expectancy is 18. We've had this horse for 2 years now, and she's 19 now. And she looks great. She's in fantastic shape. She's healthy. She's happy. So, with the situation, like I said, some of the places that I went that were the best, they were like schools. And unfortunately, there are not a lot of schools for equine assisted things.
Yeah,
and it's almost like you got to learn hands-on, and the hands-on teachers are far and few between.
Yeah.
So just, the overall problem with horses in general is another reason why we open the doors to domestics, because it's not just Mustangs that are suffering right now. All horses are in trouble.
And I think, off the track thoroughbreds, they're another one who get a pretty bad rap, it seems like.
Yeah.
And have pretty harsh realities sometimes. How do you pick which horses you bring in and when you can't?
I really don't know how I pick them up. We got a horse now that came, and I told the lady no 3 times.
They pick you, maybe.
Yeah, that's it. But she called, and I was like, we can't. We just don't have the room right now. And this was like a month ago. And then she called again, and I was like, ma'am, I'm going to see what we can do. Let me just talk to my partner and figure out if we can make this work. But right now, we can't take the horse. And I would definitely advise that you see if you can sell the horse or, And she called again and was like, no one can buy it. No one's going to buy this horse. It's going to kill someone. We just don't want, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I guess if we don't take her, she goes to the kill pen, and then we end up taking her anyway. So we just took her. And she's been here. She actually, she jumped out of the round pen, and she's been in the pasture now for about a week. But we already dewormed her, and she'll let you get up to her. She needs to be in the round pen, but she will let you get up to her. She'll let you brush her. So what I think is, it's the same tale almost every time. A person wanted this horse to be ready now.
Yeah.
And it's not ready now.
Yeah.
You can't force it to be ready if it's not. And some horses take more time than others. And so, unfortunately, when people are like, I want this now, and they can get it. And then it comes to a horse and like, oh, well, I can't ride it now. It's no good to me. Get rid of it.
And I think there definitely is a big message out there that that's what horses are good for, is being ridden, right? If you can't ride your horses, then they don't have value anymore, which I think is a wrong message to be out there. Yeah.
It's so not true. No, I'm trying to think where I saw it, but even just looking down the line, like when I got into endurance trail riding, another driving force was on these rides. I would see 80-year-old women jumping on and off these big horses with no help, in fit condition and old. And I was like, I want to be like that.
Right. Yeah.
But there does come an age in everybody's life or a time where riding isn't what you want to do anymore.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you can't take care of a horse and give it the best life that it can possibly have.
Yeah.
I think when we're young, we don't look at it like that. We look at it like, oh, all a horse can do is be ridden. What am I going to do with it if I'm not riding it? But yeah, I've seen that. And I know people now who have aged out of riding and they just take care of their horses. So yeah, it's definitely something that should be brought more to attention, that you don't have to ride the horse. Like I said, we have a couple horses that no one can even touch. And people are still getting the benefits of being around them.
Yeah. That's incredible. Is that something that kind of came natural for you, to maybe not feel that pressure that horses need to be ridden, or is that something you learned over time?
No, I think it did come natural to me, because some of the horses, like we would see that were out in pasture when we were young, they couldn't be ridden for whatever reason. Like maybe they were hurt or they were blind or whatever the reason was, the horse couldn't be ridden. So just because it was blind doesn't mean it's, you know what I mean? Like you don't just, I think that comes, but I think that does come with being around a lot of different horses. You're right.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't had the opportunity to see some of these horses, I probably would have felt that way.
How does that work, taking these horses that sometimes you have because they're dangerous and people think they shouldn't be around humans, and transition into like, no, this is your job now, is to be with humans in one form or another?
We don't really rush it because there's no demand. Like we have horses that are amazing. And, I brought my own horse here from New Mexico with my mom, and he's fantastic. I can put a 4-year-old on him or a 90-year-old on him, and he's going to take care of him. He's a great horse. So I have that horse already, right? I'm not forcing another horse to be him.
Yeah.
There's no demand on them, and we're not training them to cut. We're not training them to do anything in the arena. We're just letting them be a horse right now. So if they're willing to take the halter, if they're willing to take the saddle, then okay, fine. You want to take a rider. And some of these horses are willing very quickly to do these things. So it's just kind of like just seeing which horses are more suited for whatever job you're having them do. If a horse is just good for being in the round pen by itself with the person who's scared of horses, and it just stands there and eats the alfalfa while they stand there, that's all it needs to do. There's no pressure.
There's something incredible having that flexibility. And it's interesting, just as you talk about that, I kind of think we kind of do the same things with people, where it's like we're kind of rejecting who you are, what your strengths are, and telling you should be something else, and it doesn't usually turn out very well. But if we can embrace, like, this is who you are as a person or as a horse, and take advantage of those qualities that you bring with you, like, that's a really incredible thing, which sounds exactly like what you're doing.
Well, no, I think that, there's so many things that we've done that we just do over and over. We never really look at it, why we're doing this or how we're doing it. Can we change it? I think the future for me, I think at some point I want to be able to put a rider on a horse with the virtual reality goggles on or whatever those things are, and let them see like the transition from civilization, from horseback to where we are now on cars. Because if we don't figure out a way to get the youth interested in horses, it's going to get harder to share this information, because now the coolest thing is Fortnite. So if we don't find a way to make these animals more relevant right now, then at some point in time, coming to a place like this may be the only experience that people get to ride a horse. I don't know, looking at the future, like how do we help horses more so people can see these animals are actually so great.
Bring it into more people's lives. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think you're definitely doing it. And the more I talk to people, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're doing it too. And it is really neat to see. But, I totally agree. Like, it would be great to do even more than what is happening right now. And so do you train most of the horses?
Yes, ma'am. I train all of them.
You train all of them?
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the philosophies and approaches that you use that you found to be really effective and beneficial?
I would say the round pin.
Yeah.
The round pin is magic. And placement in the round pin is key, right? Because it comes down to basic communication for horses. And horses communicate with each other by moving each other's feet. Mm-hmm. And they also communicate with their eyes and their ears and their mouth and their nose. So the round pin doesn't give a horse a chance to get themselves stuck in a corner. The reason I said the round pin is because some people think they can have their horse in a square stall and teach them some manners and whatnot, but that horse can back itself into a corner in those squares. Mm-hmm. That round pin it's essential in horse training because the round pin makes the horse continuously move in one direction. Unless you cut that direction off, then it will have to move out in the other direction. But once you establish some direction dominance, which is very simple, it's kind of a first thing. Now the horse starts to look at you like, okay, shoot, I better be paying attention to this person. Wherever they're at, my attention needs to be on them.
Yeah.
And I think that I said it earlier, consistency is if you're going to work with a horse, just be consistent. Be consistent and be clear. Yeah, be clear and concise in your communication. Don't try to ask them 20 different things. Ask them one thing consistently and get the response that you want, and then move on to the next thing. And try to become, I think these are some of the things that people who really made an impression on me in my horsemanship, try to become a better horseman every day. Don't try to become the best horseman in one day. Right. Try to become a better horseman every day in your communication and the time that you take in dealing with the horse. And if you're a person who spends a lot of time riding, spend some time on the ground with your horse.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're a person who spends a lot of time on the ground, get in the saddle.
Yeah.
If you have the physical capabilities. Mm-hmm. If you have the physical capabilities. But because you got to have both perspectives so you can understand why A and then B. Mm-hmm. You have to have both perspectives. And I think set a time limit for your training because it doesn't matter whether or not, if you say I'm going to train from 9 to 10, train from 9 to 10, because at 10:01, something fantastic might happen or something terrible might happen. Put yourself in that time frame and use it, and that's it. Don't try to get more out of it. Do what you can do in the time that you set aside for it. Because you get a lot of people who are like, I got to end on a good note. I got to end on a good note. You should have ended a long time ago. That would have been a good note.
You're not getting a good note now. It's too far gone. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So, take the 3 T's. Things take time.
Yeah.
There's no rush to this. Let your horse be a horse. Learn how to communicate clearly with your horse. And then establish leadership. Because it does take leadership. And show your horse love. Spend some time on the ground with it. Every once in a while, give it a treat. Don't give it a treat when you're going out to the pasture to catch it. Give it a treat after you've caught it. There's certain things that there's so many different ways to do horsemanship, right? And I hear every horse person thinks they know the best.
Yeah.
But got to be willing to learn. And
100%. Yeah.
Utilize this amazing tool in social media that we have and look up people like Clinton Anderson or Pat Pirelli or Buck Brenningham, or even John Lyons, if you can find him, or people who, I know you can find Linda Tellington Jones and the Tellington Touch on here. I know that you can find people who have methods. Featherlight Horsemanship is a woman who's just changing my mind on how you can communicate with horses through her demonstrations.
Yeah.
There's so many different people who have proven methods that work. YouTube University the methods, and then go be a real cowboy in the round pen, because you need to get in the round pen. That's the only place. The round pen, you're going to be able to establish the connection, the leadership, all of that, and that's where the magic happens, on the ground in the round pen. So
Yeah, I love so much of what you had to say. I think the time is a huge thing. How did you kind of get to that where maybe you don't feel pressured for the time? Because there is a lot of, like, 30 days they should be doing this, or 60 days, or whatever it is. How did you kind of
I learned the
say,
hard way. No, I learned
yeah,
the hard way. Yeah, I'd be at some of these places, and the sad thing is, if you want to work hard, no one's going to stop you.
yeah,
No one
that's
is
true.
going to stop
They're
you.
not. They'll love it.
No one's going to stop you. So I found myself all day sometimes in the round pen, and realizing that I could have done what I did all day in half the day, or the best 3 things that I did happened in the first hour or 2 of the whole training.
Mm-hmm.
So just after making those same mistakes over and over, and like I said, if you want to work hard, no one's going to stop you. So spending long days doing things that you could have done a lot faster and spent your time doing something else, I learned the hard way. I had to go through it, but now that I know, it saves a lot of time and even more headaches if you just set a specific amount of time to it and do it. And it doesn't have to be an hour. It can be 30 minutes.
Yeah, I do love that. I think that's a great advice, just a great tip, because I think people can almost be panicked. Like, we need to end on a good note. And, sometimes just ending is fine. So I do love that. I also love what you had to say about the importance of learning. And, you pointed out just a vast array of people who train horses. And I think it's okay to, pick and choose, like, this is working for you. This is something that really resonates with your approach. So I love that we should always, always be learning and looking to others who have done it and trying to see what we can add to the work we're doing with horses.
Yeah. I mean, I really believe that you should take the good and just leave the rest. If you see something that's working and it's good, and you can respect it, it's not humiliating the horse in any way or humiliating the person, or then take it and run with it. If it works, all the more.
Yeah.
The things that you see that don't work, just leave them. Don't try to make it work. Just leave it.
Yeah. I love that. And I think it goes back again to just, it's okay to be flexible. Like, you don't have to know everything right now. It's okay to learn as you go.
We want our horses to be flexible. We got to be flexible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we want them to have soft mouths. We got to be soft too. You know what I mean? These things that we're asking from the horse, I learned that as a trainer. Before I decided I was only going to do horse stuff, I was a trainer as well. But you can't ask somebody when you're training them. It was never my philosophy to ask you to do something that I can't even do myself.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I incorporate that with the horse. I'm not going to ask you to be flexible, and I'm not, in the way that I train you. I'm not going to ask you to have a soft mouth, and I'm not, in the way that I communicate with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that is really valuable. And I think that approach really is reflective, that we go in soft, they'll respond soft. We go in heavy-handed and controlling and very stuck on what we need to happen. They're probably going to respond in the same way, just opposite of us. We're not wanting them to do. Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit more about what you do, how people can find you, how they can take advantage of you or support the work that you do.
So we rescue Mustangs mostly. We do rescue some domestics, but we basically give them sanctuary. So they're not, when they come here, they're not sold. They're not rehomed. This is their final spot. They get to stay here. And we also rescue other animals. We have goats. We just got turkeys. Yeah, we had another rescued dog. So we're located in Joshua Tree, California, and you can totally find us on our website at mustangsanctuary.com. You can also find us on Instagram at Cascade Trails _JT. But please, if you have experience with horses, if you don't have experience with horses, we'd love to share our experiences with you. And we love connecting with like-minded individuals who want to talk horse or have ideas that can progress the horse-human relationship.
Yeah, I love that. And you guys also have just fun opportunities, don't you? Camping and trail
absolutely.
riding and
Yep, camping in a beautiful area. Like I said, Joshua Tree National Park, camping, trail riding. We actually ride in the national park as well.
That's very cool.
Just a lot of really cool stuff to do out here. And it's a beautiful place to just come and check out anyway.
And if you check them out on Instagram, you guys have some great just videos and pictures. It looks incredible. It looks like a really fantastic experience.
Thank you so much.
As we kind of close up, what advice would you have for someone who either is maybe struggling on a personal level or struggling with their horses? Like what have you learned about either of those that you would give to someone else?
I think a reset is always good. If you're struggling with your horse, or if you're struggling personally, a good reset and a reevaluation of what are my goals, whether it be with my horse or with myself. What are my goals, and what's more important right now? If I have 5 of them, what are the 3 most important? And let me start working on those. But reevaluating and resetting, rewriting your goals down that you have. Because if you get frustrated with your horse, it's because your horse isn't meeting the expectations that you have for it. And that probably means you have a great horse, and so you have it in high expectation. And now you just need to reset and rewrite, what are my goals? What do I want my horse to do? And depending on what you're doing with your horse, that's going to determine the training, right? If you're just got a nice little gust of wind there. If you're just
it's real life here.
If you're just riding for leisure and you want your horse to give you a little more respect, the round pin's gonna, that's where the magic happens. You're gonna get in there and let your horse know that when it's with you, it's safe. And when it's not with you, it might have to work. So it wants to be with you. But also, don't be afraid to, I think this is even better than the first thing I said. Don't be afraid to let someone else help you. No matter how good of a trainer you are, don't be afraid to let someone else help you with whatever you're stuck with. And ask for that help. Because, and I say that as I see these people come in, there are a couple people who never been around horses before, have gone through some things personally in their life, and the horses that no one can touch, they can touch. And
it's incredible.
I'm out here trying to give you carrots every day.
Yeah, you're like, this isn't how.
I want to brush you.
Yeah.
And they just came and you let them touch you?
Yeah.
How? Why? So then I have to look, what is it about? Don't try to do it all yourself. Other people are going to show you breakthroughs, and they're going to show you things, traits and characteristics and things that you should build on so that you can do more, right? Don't be afraid to ask for help, whether it's with your horse or for you personally. That's my advice. I
love that. And I think just what you said about the horses is so incredible, because I really think that they know more in a way than we do. How they're kind of drawn to those people who maybe aren't so horse savvy, but there's something else that's drawing them to them. That is great advice. And we will include links and everything for people to find you.
Thank you so much.
And be able to take advantage of the work you do. And man, if I'm ever out in California, I'm stopping
You got
by,
a horse.
So.
You got a horse and a place to stay. Just let me know when.
I mean, that's all I need in life. Sounds good.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I love the work you do, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it all progresses and goes. Thank you for joining us and learning about horses that heal and the humans who help them. We hope you'll continue with us on this journey. We'd love for you to subscribe on your favorite platform and follow The Touch of a Mustang on any of the major social media outlets. Please share with your friends, anyone who loves horses, or anyone who might be struggling and could benefit from this message. If you have felt the healing power of horses or help them in their divinely appointed mission, please reach out. We want to hear your story. As we say goodbye, always remember that the horse is always there to help you heal.